sweating under the hum of the industrial-grade microwave. Beside him, his lab partner Marcus was vibrating with a manic energy that usually preceded a school suspension. On the counter sat the subjects of their unauthorized extra credit project, an 18-pound frozen butterball turkey and a tall, hollow milk chocolate Easter bunny. It was a week after Thanksgiving and 2 months before spring, a temporal crossroads of discarded holiday leftovers. The how did we have to do this at 7 Kaido very day at the process as a Kanyam homes. Be this sound the pep rally pulley to 60, brown grease. Leo and Marcus scrubbed the lab frantically, but the smell lingered. It was a cloying, heavy scent, the savory richness of turkey gravy mixed with the saccharine punch of marshmallow fluff. It was the smell of a nightmare buff. We have to find it, Leo whispered as they walked into the crowded hallway. That thing was growing. Assumption, Leo repeated, stepping back. You mean the pep rally? Mr. Henderson was lecturing about the Industrial Revolution, but he was doing it while standing on his desk, his arms tucked tightly against his sides. Every few minutes he would let out a sharp, dry cough that sounded remarkably like a turkey's cluck. Leo sat in the back row, his eyes darting around the room. He noticed that nearly half the class was sitting with the same rigid, upright posture. They were all staring at the chalkboard with unblinking intensity. The air in the room was becoming thick and humid, the windows fogging up with a moisture that looked greasy. How do we get to the roof? Marcus asked. The turkey was frozen. The chocolate poultry hybrid. The ear was covered in a fine white down that looked like powdered sugar. This is it, Marcus panted, collapsing against a rack of industrial mop heads. We're going to be turned into festive appetizers. I always thought I'd go out in a blaze of glory. Not as a side dish. The turkey part of them is held together by poultry lipids. If we can strip the grease, they'll fall apart. But there's hundreds of them, Marcus cried. We can't spray the whole school with hand bottles. Lakeview production. Cleared Jane, Clo from Pedestry. Cleared and more, from more ball of the Endare and a very dusty eagle. We blend in. We become the very thing they fear, slightly different festive animals. Lo, Chloe, fight it. Leo grabbed her shoulders, but her skin was already starting to feel soft, like warm wax. Everyone is delicious. We're going to the roof to stop it, Leo said of over the fixtures. The air was thick and humid, smelling of a roast left in the oven too long. They weren't singing carols. They were emitting a low, polyphonic hum that sounded like a swarm of bees trapped in a jar of molasses. I'm so sorry, but I really think you'd taste better with a little bit of salt. She lunged at him, her mouth opening to reveal a beak beginning to harden from her palate. Marcus, the eagle, didn't hesitate. He pulled a small fire extinguisher from the wall and blasted her with a cloud of white powder. Chloe shrieked, a sound that was pure turkey, and tumbled down the stairs, her form dissolving into a heap of feathers and chocolate shards. Hurry up, Marcus, Leo taunted. The wind whipped at Leo's barriers, bringing with it the scent of the city, which was a welcome relief from the gravy fumes below. The first of Harry losing its human timbre. On top of the tank, Marcus was eternally filled as long rabbit ears wilted and fell off like wet cardboard. Its feathers lost their grip on its oily skin and slitted timbre. On top of the tank, Marcus was struggling with the heavy lid. He had tied 6-gallon-sized bottles of degreaser together with a length of rope. With a final desperate heave, he kicked the lid open and dumped the chemicals into the water. The school was closed for 3 weeks for emergency plumbing remediation. The official story was that a localized chemical reaction in the biology lab had caused a mass hallucination, combined with a very specific food-based fungal outbreak. Leo and Marcus sat on the bleachers of the